welcome to Popcorn Rants, guys.
Yes, and today's episode is all about revenge. Shaz has found this out today. Yes.
Revenge.
Yes, revenge, vengeance in films. Revenge films. Because we just watched.
films.
Yeah, I just watched the revenge film, and then I found out that there are a few other revenge films that are really, really good.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this. I didn't know what was happening before we came into the show.
Yes.
But do tell me, Father Delio.
Yes, so yesterday,
Right.
or was it the day before, I watched that Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
The one with the Brad Pitt.
Right.
And Lemon and Tangerine.
Lemon and Tangerine.
Yeah, that's the name of the assassin. Fantastic revenge flick, I thought.
Right.
And then after that, I went to the internet, and then I don't think I typed revenge film.
Right.
But somehow a Reddit thread on movies about revenge came up.
Right.
And then they knew more than once.
Okay.
The film Count of Monte Cristo came up. Have you watched that one?
No, I have not.
It is from 2002. And then I was like, how come I didn't watch this? Then I thought, I'm in university at the time.
Right. Okay.
And I was busy playing Counter-Strike, obviously.
Obviously.
So yesterday I downloaded it and
And
watched
Warcraft
it.
3.
And Warcraft 3,
And
of course.
StarCraft.
And StarCraft.
Right.
So that's what we do in uni.
Yeah.
You know. I'm sad to say.
That's what the cool kids used to do, believe it or not. Now it's just, I don't know, it's not the cool kids anymore.
No, nowadays.
It's the old kids.
The old kids, the old nerds. The new nerds
Yeah.
are doing something completely different. I think they're playing Roblox or something.
Or Fortnite.
Or Fortnite, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
And PUBG.
And PUBG, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, back in the day, it was Counter-Strike, and I completely missed Count of Monte Cristo. So I downloaded it. And it's got a young Henry Cavill in it, Superman.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was even an actor.
Back then.
I thought
Right.
the first thing he ever had was Superman.
Right, you're
I'm
right,
like, oh,
yeah.
who's this unknown guy?
Yeah.
Turns out he was in Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay.
And the movie is the perfect revenge film. If you like revenge films,
Okay.
this is the one.
What's the general premise? Yes.
Right. So, two good friends.
Okay.
Our good friend, snap. I just watched the film. I can't remember his
Okay.
name. So one guy, let's call him A, and this other guy, Count Mondigo. Okay. This one guy's name is A and Count Mondigo.
Okay.
So Count Mondigo is his good friend. This Count Mondigo comes from a rich family.
All right.
This other guy, Edmond Dantes, his name. Edmond Dantes is a regular guy. I think his dad
Alright.
is like a not so rich guy lah.
Okay.
But then they're kawan, very good friends.
Okay.
And then the thing is, this rich guy, Mondigo, is like one of those other type of rich guys, like, you know. He got like in the story they said, he got a pony for his birthday. The other guy got a like whistle or something.
Right.
And this Mondigo who got the pony was jealous that Dantes was happy with his whistle, was happier with his whistle than he was with his pony. That kind of people are, you know, everything also want to compare.
Right.
So at one point, they go to some island. In the beginning, the first scene is where they go to an island where Napoleon Bonaparte is. And this is set in that time, in the time when Bonaparte was exiled.
Summary, you don't have to...
Okay. Summary.
Right.
Mondigo gives this Dantes up to the cops for something he did on the island.
Right.
And then he goes to jail.
Right.
13 years later, Dantes escapes, takes his revenge by growing rich, because he made a friend in the prison who gave him a secret stash of treasure in a map.
Right.
And he escaped, found the treasure, made himself into the Count of Monte Cristo, and wreaked havoc on these other people's lives. All the people who betrayed him, basically.
Okay, all right.
Very good.
Very nice.
It
So
really
is Henry
gives you-
Cavill the good guy or the bad guy?
he is the Mondigo's son. A little twist in there,
Right.
but you'll find out when you watch it's 2002, so maybe I can tell you about it.
Okay. Now you can tell the audience about it, but I would like to know.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't like to be spoiled.
Don't spoil.
Yes.
Okay. Then in that case, Cavill is the Mondigo's son.
Okay.
But later there'll be a twist which will kind of explain why the girl that he was in love with, Dante was in love with,
Right.
when she found out that this guy died, because Mondigo said, he died. He got executed or something.
Right. You know what this sounds like, right?
What's that?
It sounds like Rosalinda Ayamo, like a like a very like telenovela.
Yes, a telenovela
kind of premise to a story.
Exactly,
right.
but it's really good.
Right.
Really good. Watch it.
Okay.
And then also because of that, because I watched those two, I was thinking about what other revenge films are really good, and I remembered Old Boy, which I thought is I think is sort of like not a revenge is good film. It's more of a revenge ain't really a great thing film.
Right. Okay.
Right? Because he tries to take revenge and he eventually ends up hurting himself more than whoever he was trying to take revenge on.
Right.
And then there was another film. What was it?
Thanos sleeps with Scarlet Witch, basically, right? That one.
Yes. Very good way of putting it. Yes,
Right.
that's exactly it.
Kill Bill's got to be.
Kill Bill is a good revenge film.
Then you've got
had another
Double
nice
Jeopardy.
Double Jeopardy. Oh, the one where she already kena jail for that crime, and then she
Yes.
comes back and
Yeah.
That's actually a real thing, Double Jeopardy.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah, you can't be convicted twice of the same crime.
Yeah.
So what I read somebody say that is, if she had gone and killed that guy in a Mardi Gras carnival and everybody saw it, still nothing wrong because she already got convicted for that crime.
Right.
What do you know?
Yeah. Anything else?
Anything else? I know there was one more film I had in my head which was all about revenge, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
any nice ones?
Well, I mean, for me, if you're thinking of just like art, a visual kind of spectacle, it's always going to be Kill Bill for me.
Oh yeah.
Quentin Tarantino has always got that weird kind of like play on colors and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, no, off the top of my head, I can't really think of a lot of revenge stuff.
The one that I was thinking of was Spit on My Grave, or Spit on Her Grave, or Spit on Somebody's Grave.
All right, okay.
Yeah, that was good. It's about a girl who, I think she gets raped or something in the beginning.
Okay.
But later, when she takes retribution against the rapists, oh, wow.
Oh, what, Taken? Taken is a revenge film, right?
Oh, yeah, pretty much, I guess. The daughter gets kidnapped,
Yeah.
and then the kidnappers get it nicely from Mr. Liam Neeson. But then somebody said that Taken 2 is... The way they explained it was, Taken was a dumb action movie.
Right.
And problem with Taken 2 and 3 is they become stupid action movies.
Right. Okay.
Like how what's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Tembak Commando, I think.
That's all Arnold
Oh,
Schwarzenegger.
sorry. In the forest, I think it's in the forest.
Okay, all right.
Commando, I think.
Predator?
Predator, maybe one of those.
Right.
But basically, the idea is that it was enjoyable because it doesn't take itself seriously. It's a
Right.
dumb action movie, and you're just supposed to, oh wow.
Right.
But sometimes when they take themselves too seriously, it becomes a stupid action movie.
Action movie. Okay, fair enough.
So that's one thing.
Okay.
Spit on My Grave also, you gotta watch it. If you haven't seen it, and you kind of like this revenge, and then giving it back, serving it on a dish,
Right.
cold,
Right.
and then you gotta watch that one. Spit on
Revenge
My
is
Grave.
that is the opening line of Kill Bill, actually.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Yeah.
Yes,
Old
yes.
Klingon proverb.
Yeah. Klingon. Isn't that like...
Klingon.
Oh, Klingon. Yeah, Klingon. Okay.
Yes, old Klingon proverb. That's the beginning line of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's Boxing Day today.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas to all you guys.
Of course, by the time you hear this, it'll be like 2 weeks from now.
It'll probably be about at least a week. At least a week.
Yes, it'll be the new year.
Because the thing is, right, I don't have an editor. So it is me editing all of these feeds together.
Yes.
So it's like Fadil's feed here, my feed, and the wide feed, right? So
Yeah.
it's all edited together post-production.
And I'd help him if I had any clue how to do this stuff.
And the problem is that we'll only know if there's a problem when we finish the podcast.
Yeah.
So we've actually shot 2 episodes, I think?
Yeah, that we just completely had to dismiss, had to just let go because it didn't work out.
Because there was a problem, either a problem with the audio
or
a
with
problem
the
one of the
video.
cameras. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So
unfortunately, so.
I think we've worked out most of the bugs. So the last episode was pretty good, I felt.
Okay.
I mean, like from a technical point of view,
Okay.
but hopefully it maintains a run of being okay.
So
and
if you're one of
acceptable.
those producer types who likes to do these things for
Yeah, yeah.
not any money at all.
Yeah, for not any money. He was about to say not much money. I was about to say without any money, right? Holla, let me know.
You can be part of the crew.
Yeah, exactly. You know, well, I think when the podcast gets to a certain level,
Yeah,
sure,
probably.
I'll hire a producer to
Yeah.
edit all of this and maybe do it live even. But for
Ooh, that'd be
now,
really nice, yeah.
for now,
E-
just me in my room.
All right.
Yeah.
So what else is interesting?
Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff that has come out, I think. I mean, of course, since the last time we spoke, we were talking about the World Cup. So Argentina
yeah,
has won the
that's
World
right.
Cup.
Well done.
This is well done, Argentina. And this is something that have been saying. Like, last time the World Cup was in Asia was in South Korea, right? And this is a repeat of the 2002 World Cup. It's in Asia, okay? There was an unexpected team that made it to the semis. In 2002, it was South Korea.
Okay.
And they lost to Turkey,
Right.
which was the European team. Again, it was Morocco in this case, and they lost to Croatia.
Right, the European team.
The European team. And in the final was a South American team versus a European team. Previously, it was Brazil versus Germany, and Brazil won, right?
Right.
In this case, it was Argentina versus France, and Argentina won.
Right.
So and that was like Ronaldo, the previous best player in the world, winning the World Cup, and this time it's Messi winning the World Cup. So it's like history is repeating itself.
Right, right. So what Shaz is saying is it comes in cycles,
Comes
you
in
see.
cycles, yeah, exactly. So what you need to worry about right now is, was 2003 a good year for you? Because if 2003 was a bad year for you, you need to
Oops.
buckle down, right?
Right.
This is the Matrix going in loop. Because the thing is, like, the Matrix, whoever programmed it is lazy.
Yes.
Motherfucker's lazy, man. He just
Right.
keeps repeating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
Let's just change the variables and same story.
Yeah,
You know?
same story. Yes, yes, yes. And it's kind of true.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a great, an old proverb or saying that goes, those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, exactly. So 2003, I can't think of anything specific that happened in 2003. In fact, when you think about it, right? 2001, we had an event that changed the world, which was
yes, the 9/11.
9/11 event. And before that, we had, although it's not in one specific day, in 2001 we were still in the middle of a pandemic, a global pandemic that has changed the world.
How very familiar.
Yeah, and then also, like a war. Yeah, so that also happened this year. though.
Hey, that's very uncanny, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. I mean, if you look for the signs, right, you'll see that history is time is just kind of looping in on itself. The variables are changing, but it's the same thing happening all over again.
But then also you could say it's sometimes when you look for the signs, you will see whatever you want to read into it, right?
That is true.
Like
That is-
Nostradamus.
that is true. But
Yeah, you
but
know.
but I am giving the information before it happens, unlike Nostradamus.
Right, right. Oh, yes, yes. All these Nostradamus people, they'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, you see, he actually said that. If he did say that, and
Yeah.
it was so obvious,
Yeah.
why you didn't tell me before?
Exactly. Yeah.
Always they will say, oh, actually in this line, that you see, this thing actually means this.
Right.
But then when you read it the first time, it's like, we have no idea what he's talking in riddles.
Yeah. Exactly. Like if Nostradamus was okay. Let's say, for example, right. This is something that
That Hister one though, that Hister and Hitler thing, that was very, very.
I
But
guess so.
also then, after the fact, only they said,
That's true.
oh, Hister is Hitler.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the thing, though, right? If let's say you could predict the future, so I've obviously given this a lot of thought. So
Okay.
you've only got to have like the next 10 seconds to think about it. So I understand if you can't think of the answer, right? Let's say you really did know the future, like you're from 2022 and you needed to go back in time to, let's say, 2000. Okay.
Right.
All right. So what would you tell? Because if you give information about the future, let's say, for example, you say Russia's going to invade Ukraine. That's not going to happen now because you said it.
Ah, right.
So if you say there's going to
butterfly effects and all.
Yes. So you say there's going to be a 9/11 attack, right?
Right.
It's not going to happen now because you said it.
Right.
So what is something that no matter, even if you say it, it's still going to happen? That's
Oh,
your
wow.
proof that you know the future is going to happen, regardless of what you say.
Oh, that's kind of hard. And that also kind of sounds like it could be something that would have happened regardless if you said it or not, in a way. And
Yeah,
then-
regardless of whether you say it or you don't say it and people know it's coming or they don't know it's coming, it is still going to play out.
right. That would be like the the one where I think there's a story about it or something where he went back in time and then he said, "Oh look, the sun's gonna be eaten by the sky," and the eclipse happened and everybody was like, "Ooh,
right."
God."
Yeah. But obviously, I mean, it can't be because if you're dealing with primitive people, probably.
Okay,
but if you're going back to 2000, in
2000,
2000 you still had the internet, technically, right?
Okay,
so
fair enough.
What could you tell people to prove that you are in fact a time traveler from 2022?
I don't
So
know.
you only got 10 seconds to think about this, so it's fine. You
Okay.
can't think
I'll
of the
say,
answer.
yeah, I can't think of it. I say, short videos are going to be the future.
I mean, that could be true for anything. It's very vague, right? You might as well be Nostradamus at that point.
In 2022, the videos will only be short than 6 seconds.
Right, exactly. And they could change it, and they could bring it forward. Okay, so
what would
obviously it has to be a natural phenomenon that's not caused by humans.
Right.
It's got to be big, and it's going to happen no matter what we do.
COVID.
No, COVID can still be prevented.
And also COVID was caused by humans.
Yeah, probably. In a lab, in a lab somewhere.
Yes.
Conspiracy theory.
Biowarfare.
So the answer is the Boxing Day tsunami.
What? Oh!
Right.
Okay.
2005, I believe, right? No matter, even if you say there's going to be this big Boxing Day tsunami in 2005, even if you say it, you don't say it, it's still going to happen.
It's caused by tectonic shifts that are not controlled by any one of us.
Humans knowing about it or not knowing about it, it's still going to happen.
Yes.
So that's
you
the
could
only
have
thing.
scientists at that point, really? And check it out. It's like, oh yeah, he's right. Because of the movement of the tectonic plates, this is eventually going to happen, thus causing the tidal wave, etc.
It's not like you can stop it, right?
You can't
Even if
stop. I mean,
say
what
it.
are you going to do?
That's the
Stop the
that's why
tectonic plates?
for me, if you are a time traveler, right, and you go back into the past previous to the Boxing Day tsunami and you didn't mention it, that's the only thing that you can prove. Nothing else that you can, because if you're saying something, it's already going to change the future. Give it this
Volcano or something?
I mean, sure, volcano, but
volcanoes also you can kind of stop it or
no, I mean volcanoes erupting is not something that is like uncommon.
That's true.
But the Boxing Day tsunami was a big event. You know what I mean?
How about the current flash freezing happening, flash winter happening all over the United States?
I mean, even that is all of these things are possible things, right? But it's not like a global big phenomenon that like affects a bunch of countries, and it's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing, I guess, so to speak.
True, also.
That was a huge tsunami that happened in 2005.
People are still, there was a film that came out with Spider-Man acting in it. That was pretty good.
And Naomi Watts.
And
right?
Naomi Watts. Oh, man.
When she was still pretty hot in there.
Is she not anymore? I think she's still pretty.
She's not bad, but she's kind of antified now.
Oh, okay.
In that movie, The Watcher, have you seen it?
Oh, the one about the house.
Yeah.
So, that was Naomi Watts. Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I thought it was Clive Owen, but it's not. It's somebody else. Let me look up his name. But The Watcher. So I'm about to give us.
Isn't the guy from Mad Men The Watcher?
No. So the Watcher. The general premise is these guys, this family, right? They buy a house somewhere in the suburbs. His name is Bobby Cannavale. Yeah. So the Watcher is a story about this family that spends like about I think 1.3 million to buy this house, and then they start to get letters saying that I'm a watcher, I'm watching your house, I know about your family, I know about your kids, and starts to tell them about things that they do, and then the husband starts to wonder who the hell is sending all of these letters, right? So it's a true story. It's based on an actual true story, but of course in the movie it is dramatized. So there's a lot of extra twists and turns that weren't there. I believe that's what is happening, right? Because there's some like devil worshipping aspect to it in the movie, and I watched the story about what actually happened in the house, and it wasn't any mention.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as dramatic. It was just like a couple of letters. That's about it.
Yeah, but eventually, what happened was the husband started to obsess about the story about who's actually watching his house. The thing is that I don't get. So I didn't watch all of the episodes.
Okay.
Because I thought it's one of those stories that's really draggy. I felt like, oh my god, get to the point. I want to know who's been watching this house. What's the story, right? So. If somebody's delivering mail to your mailbox, right? What you do is you put like 5 cameras on the mailbox.
Right, yeah.
And then when you get a letter, then you'll
Yeah.
see who put the camera, who put the at least you get the
letters
frame
there.
of the person, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. But
So-
you know, this is a true story. It happens in Malaysia also.
Yeah.
I know a friend who bought a house, and it happened to be not even $1 million house, like something
Right.
like 800,000 or
Yeah.
something. And then he got letter.
Okay. What the letter say?
The letter say we're going to do audit on you. We just want to see your taxes.
Oh, no.
From the tax people.
My
Holy
poor-
shit!
I feel like I know this guy. Yeah, but that is a love letter.
Yes.
Yeah, love letter.
So watch out. You
Yeah.
buy a 1.3 million house, guarantee you're
Right.
going to get a letter,
Yeah.
and they're going to ask you, show us your taxes for the last 7 years, please.
Yeah. Or we'll put you in jail. That's even worse than the watcher when you think about it.
Is
Right?
there somewhat? I can deal with the watcher things,
Right,
you know.
exactly. Watch me. Yeah, here.
This
Let
is
me give
good.
you a show, the watcher. Walk around the house naked, scratching your nuts.
Oh yeah, actually I've
You,
thought about
want to
that,
watch this, huh? You know?
Actually, that's the best way, especially if
Yeah.
you're dealing with ghosts, right? And you want to feel not scared, and then you're feeling scared at that point, right?
Yeah.
Strip naked. What do you want?
Yeah, no, I think if it was, okay, so maybe now I'm married, might be a different story, but the
Hard to
younger
do it.
Shahs, right?
Yeah, the younger
Somebody's
Shahs.
watching me, okay, let's
Oh.
put up some porn on the screen.
Yes,
and then,
yes. Watch
then-
this.
You watch this, sucker.
Hope you like what you're
Yeah,
seeing.
exactly.
Yes,
So yeah, watch away, and then the watcher will be like, "Ah, my eyes!" And like,
Bleach.
that's what you get for watching me, motherfucker.
He'll be spending the next 2 years
Yeah.
looking at kitten pictures just to get the
Yeah.
image out of his
Yeah,
head.
yeah, exactly.
Then the minute he looks
Just
at
be,
another house.
just be freakier than anybody that's watching you. Like, what you gonna do about it, huh? Just watch away. So anyway, but this is the thing about the story. Spoiler,
Right.
spoiler, right?
Spoiler,
Spoiler
okay.
coming. The thing about the story is, it's never revealed who the watcher is.
Unfortunately, it isn't.
So I'm like,
In fact, right at the end, they got
well,
another.
that's
They got another thing where they
disappointing.
show somebody coming, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah. So I don't like stories like that where it's kind of like left unresolved.
Oh.
I feel like,
But I think also it's because in real life
they
it
didn't
wasn't
know.
resolved.
Correct,
Nobody knew.
no,
Nobody
correct.
knew.
No, it's it's set up that way. It's the correct way to do the story. But in general,
Right.
I just do not like stories that are unresolved like that because I feel like all this tension is building up with no payoff. You know.
Right.
So,
Right.
but this is just my own personal preference. You know, not
Okay.
everybody's like that. This is what I realize is that just because I like or dislike something,
Yeah.
not everybody likes or agrees with me. Like for example, I find The Witcher really boring.
Oh, okay.
Henry Cavill's The Witcher. I love Henry Cavill, but I find The Witcher boring. Everybody loves The Witcher.
Right. I didn't really watch the.
I tried to force myself to watch, like, I think I watched season 1. I can't remember if I watched.
Oh,
I think I
okay.
watched season 1, yeah.
It's basically a Monster Hunter filler, right?
Yeah, it's a Monster Hunter filler. And then the thing is that there's elements in it where I just don't understand why Henry Cavill is doing certain things. And then they'll be like, oh, because in the game, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, that's why. All right.
It's a
okay.
fan service thing, lah.
I guess so, yes. I mean, Henry
Okay,
Cavill is
okay.
somebody who's going to be sure about giving you fan service, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and I think this Top Gun Maverick, right? I
Okay.
watched it, and I thought it was an okay movie, although it's a ripoff of Star Wars. I don't know why everybody loved it.
Right.
And then I didn't watch the first Top Gun Maverick, so maybe that's the reason.
Oh, the original Top Gun, you didn't watch it?
The original one. I mean, I watched it like a long time ago. I
Oh,
can't remember
right.
anymore, right? And the other one is also House of the Dragon. Everybody loves Rhaenyra, and I'm thinking, are you guys smoking crack?
Right.
Rhaenyra is super selfish. Why do you guys love her?
Gotcha.
Right? And I actually posted up on my Facebook to try and bait other House of the Dragon
Did you
fans
get
to
a lot of
argue-
bites?
to argue with me. There's one girl, our good friend to Nadia, said to
Oh.
argue with me about it. So I went back and forth with her.
Okay.
And the thing is that it's not like it matters, right? Because these people aren't real.
But then I guess maybe she jives with Rhaenyra a bit because she also from royal a bit, right? The family.
Could be, but
Maybe.
I sometimes feel like everyone's jumping on the bandwagon just because everybody wants to love her, right?
Oh.
You know, and sometimes I wonder, okay, I don't know whether this is true or not, this is just a theory. Sometimes I wonder, do you all like Rhaenyra because the actress is non-binary? Like, I'm starting to think that might be a thing because logically,
wait, you mean the actress in real life?
in real life, she's
non-binary.
Is non-binary, right?
Ah.
Because I'm thinking about it, right? The other actress, what's her name? House of the Dragon. Let me see what.
Wait, this is which Rhaenyra, the young one or the later one?
I mean, okay, so I did like the younger Rhaenyra. Although this is the thing that I feel, George R.R. Martin has written all of his characters to be complex.
Yes.
So not all of them are bad. Not all of them are good.
In fact, you could argue that none of them are good or bad.
You're right.
They are good in their own eyes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And because you think you're doing the right thing because you're lacking information, for example,
Yeah.
right? And people don't talk to each other in movies, right?
Of course,
So-
that's the number one reason the movie even exists is
Yes.
because they didn't put a post-it note on the fridge
Exactly.
saying, "Don't go into the garage. There's a monster in there."
Exactly. Yes.
Instead, they were like, "Oh my God, there's a monster. I better go in." And then the guy was like, "Honey, I'm home. Where is everybody? Maybe I'll go check in the garage." Ah!
Yeah. Exactly. Right. So okay. Alison Hightower, right?
Alison Hightower. Hey, how
Alison
come the name's so familiar? What other things was she in?
She, no, I mean, Alison Hightower is
Rhaenyra?
Is Princess Rhaenyra's best friend who.
Oh, okay.
Who married her husband? Who married her father?
Okay.
Okay. So Alison Hightower's character, right?
Mm.
So these are the characters. Okay, I don't know what the actresses are actually like, right? But her character was never. They said, oh, she. One of the arguments that our good friend too, Nadia, I love you, Nadia.
Yes.
Said that this Alison Hightower's character was seducing the king. She knew exactly what she was doing.
Right.
And I'm like, it's not like she walked into the king's robe like wearing a lingerie and be like, oh my God, I dropped something. It's not something like that, right? So she went there and she talked to the king.
Right.
And that was apparently seducing. And I'm like,
Right.
man, do men have no
Wait,
responsibility
the
here?
one where she brought in and said, "I know you like history, book
Yes,
thing." Oh,
exactly.
okay,
And
okay,
even
okay.
when he said that he wanted to marry the sea snake's daughter, I can't remember what her name is right now, but and she was saying it's a good match, my lord, right? She didn't say you ain't marrying that hoe. Come on, you need to marry me. So yeah, I felt like there was a lot of positive things that Alison Hightower did. She stood up for Princess Rhaenyra in more than a few different ways. When she had her back, even though Princess Rhaenyra was lying to her the first time when she tried to fuck her uncle and she didn't manage to fuck her uncle. So there's a lot of good things that Alison Hightower did. And Princess Rhaenyra has been like selfish throughout all the series until like right at the end where she decided, okay, let's not go to war first. Let's try to when her brother took over the throne, she's like, let's not go to war just yet. And she kind of like fought with her husband uncle, right? So Daemon Targaryen. So the thing is that Daemon Targaryen also, even the writers of the show are like, he's a bad guy.
How is it that you
Why
guys
do
are
you all
falling
like
for
him, right? And I've even read comments online where people say, you know what? I actually don't like the actor Matt Smith. Like something like they find him very unattractive or a big huge dork, but I love Daemon Targaryen. And it's because Matt Smith is a nice guy.
Right.
Daemon Targaryen is an asshole. And you're all like, this is why Marilyn Manson gets to abuse women. And like all of you guys are like, I didn't see it coming.
Right.
The guy who worships the devil is a bad guy. Oh, okay.
You don't say.
Where did that was a twist we didn't see coming, right?
Right.
So anyway, besides that, there are a lot of things out there that I enjoy, and I find that a lot of people don't enjoy it as much. Like, for
like The
example,
Recruit.
The Recruit, which is similar to Castle. So I love the TV show Castle. I think it lasted for about 8 seasons.
Yeah.
I loved it while it lasted, but not a lot of people even know about it.
Yeah, I did not really watch it that much.
Even like the actor Nathan Fillion, right?
Right.
Not a lot of people really know about Nathan Fillion.
Yes,
I'm a
I have
huge
had
Nathan Fillion
I have
fan.
had to ask you like, wait, who's Nathan Fillion again? Like multiple times.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I don't know all of his work, but I liked him in Firefly. I liked him in Castle, obviously. Even his new movie, The Rookie, the new TV show, The Rookie. Like, the problem with The Rookie, right, is that I'm only interested in Castle's character. I'm not interested in all the other characters around him. Are kind of boring, I find.
Right.
But it's still, the show is not bad, you know.
Okay.
But The Recruit is really good. I feel like the story was written for Nathan Fillion, but I think he's too old to play
be
a recruit
right,
in CIA.
Right.
So they got this other actor.
He's a virtual unknown. I've never seen his face in my life.
He started to become famous from this show called To the Boys I've Loved Before, I think. To the Boys I've Loved, to all the boys I've loved before, which was a rom-com that came out in 2018, which I watched. It was kind of cute.
Okay.
It's about this girl
Right.
Let's see, what is her? It was actually a book, and they made it into a movie, and
Oh.
it's starring. Her name. Oh, her name was Lana Condor, right? She also acted in this show where she died. Where there's like a ghost and she has to deal. That's called Boo Bitch. That was also. I do watch some kiddie kind of shows once in a
Okay.
while, and I'm just like, this is stupid, but boleh layan. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you don't have to watch like a masterpiece every time you're watching shows, right?
Does it have to be Schindler's List?
It doesn't have to be
Right.
like freaking Avatar, The Way of Water, or whatever, right? You can just watch stuff for fun. And the girl in Boo Bitch, the white girl, what's her name? She's kind of cute. So she was in the poster. What was her
So the
name?
black girl is the ghost, is it?
I don't want to spoil it for
Okay,
you.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
Her name is damn. You know what's the problem with a lot of these shows now is that when I watch and I think, this girl is cute, and then I realize she's 20 years younger than me.
Ooh.
I am a dirty old man. dirty old man. This
Dirty
girl is too
old
young
man
for me.
girl.
But yeah, I can't remember. I don't know what that girl. Her name is Zoe Coletti, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So this girl who
Right.
she was in this movie To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yes.
It's about she wrote a bunch of letters to guys that she liked, and then she just kept it. She never sends it to the guys, right?
Oh.
And her sister wanted her to get a boyfriend, so she got all of these letters and she sent it to all the boys. So she kind
Wow.
of like when in high school she went like all these boys got these letters,
Right.
and one of them was this supposedly heartthrob cute guy. Lah.
The guy in the recruit.
Yes, the guy in the recruit. What is it? Noah Centineo. Yes,
That's his
correct.
name? Noah
That's his-
Centineo?
Noah Centineo. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was also Atom Smasher in Black Adam, so he's already got like a superhero movie.
You know, Black Adam, I didn't watch that one. Atom Smasher
He's Atom Smasher.
in
yeah.
Black Adam.
He's basically, the Atom, where it's like Ant-Man basically, where he can grow like really huge. He can grow really,
Is he the
really big.
DC version of
Yes.
Ant-Man? I see.
I don't know what's the difference between Atom Smasher and Atom. The Atom. I
The
thought it's the
Atom.
same. What's
The
the
Atom
difference?
is the guy who can become small.
He becomes small and big. It's the same thing.
Oh, the same as Ant-Man, lah, basically.
Growth and super strength. Okay. Oh, he can't go smaller. Okay.
Oh, growth and super strength. So he
Right.
doesn't become miniature.
No, he can't go miniature. But what is the difference between Atom and Atom Smasher? Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So
Right.
he was Atom Smasher, and he that's kind of like what I've seen him before, and he was really good in the recruit. I feel like he is kind of like that younger, kind of like funny, quirky Star Lord Nathan
Okay, lah.
Fillion kind of guy. You know?
From the episodes I watched of The Recruit, yeah, he does have that sort of feel. He looks
Yeah.
innocent and then witty, quippy. You know, yeah.
So I felt like he was good in the role. Although I would have liked to have seen a 20-year-old Nathan Fillion in it, but that's not possible.
Right, right.
So, but yeah, Noah Centineo actually does a really good job, and he's kind of like This is something I didn't realize. So the CIA has a law division, right?
Oh,
and
right.
he is a lawyer for the CIA. And he has somehow become a spy.
Well-
so he's bumbling because he's not a spy,
Right.
But-
I didn't get it that far where
Right.
I don't know if he officially becomes a spy, but in the first one, he's just trying to solve a case.
Yes.
And to solve the case, he thought, okay, I'll go to Yemen. And then he went there, and then suddenly he ends up in the black ops.
Yes.
And the black ops people try to how can there be some guy who comes up with the black ops? He must be some infiltrator.
Right.
And then stuff happens.
Yeah.
And that's where the shenanigans keep going. So that he eventually actually becomes a
No,
spy?
he doesn't.
He doesn't. He's just a lawyer who's trying to solve
some
problems, and then he does it in a spy-ish way.
There's some spy elements to it. But
Right.
the thing is that because he's not an operations agent, right? He's not a
Right.
spy. He doesn't really know what he's doing. So it's like, that's interesting. Like he's
Mm.
he's a spy, he works for the CIA, but he's not a spy, So he's
Right.
kind of like a bumbling kind of guy,
Yeah.
right? So that's what the comedic aspect.
And
comes
also,
in.
I can kind of see why it might be fun for people, but it wasn't my kind of thing. Like that's all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do realize that not
Yeah.
every a lot of stuff that I like, a lot of people do not like. I like to recruit, but it's like number 9 watch show on Netflix. You know
What's
what I
number
mean?
one now?
Oh, number 1. I think it's the I think it's
What kind of troll guy the other day?
No, I think it's Alice in Borderlands. I think that's number one.
Oh, it's a Japanese show, right?
Alice in Borderlands Korean, I think.
Korean or Japanese? No, Japanese. I'm fairly certain I heard them speak Japanese.
Okay, I did not watch it. So
I haven't watched it either.
Sorry, Alice in Borderlands.
What I did watch though was Glass Onion, Knives Out. That was good.
Right. Glass Onion and Knives Out are two different things, though.
Oh no. Glass Onion, a Knives Out something. It says.
Oh, Glass Onion.
A Knives Out mystery.
Right.
I think it's got a subtitle. Okay. Yeah, Knives Out mystery. I'm looking at my.
Okay.
So I was messing around on my phone trying to get to my Netflix viewing history just to show you what I was watching. So yeah, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. I've seen the Knives Out like trailer again and again.
Right.
I never really watched it.
Yeah.
Actually, my wife watched it, and I was sitting there maybe playing Dota or something, watching it a bit. But when I watched the Glass Onion and Knives Out mystery, I thought, wow, this is fantastic.
Right.
It's a murder mystery, much like a whodunit, with if you played Clue, the game, they put a lot of references to that game in it, but it's pretty much that.
Yeah.
And then you're there trying to figure out which one of these guys could have done it.
Right.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But the Knives Out, the original Knives Out, that was even better.
Right. No, I totally agree with you. That the first movie was better, I felt.
Yeah.
But the second movie is not bad. I felt like the first movie, the twist was deserved.
Right.
It was already planted there, and the twist was good, and it was deserved. But the second one, I felt like the twist wasn't as deserved, though it was still entertaining to watch.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One thing about these two films is they are definitely entertaining. Like you're sitting there because you're sort of engaged in and you're looking.
Right.
You're not just watching the movie listening to what they say. You're looking at everything. It's like, what's the clues here and there? You sort of feel like you're part detective too. Watching this film. I like it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, I've tried to watch before murder mysteries. Sometimes they're okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of them end up being. They look like how to say, maybe not professionally done. I don't know how to say.
Yeah.
But this one it's a good movie, it's nice to watch, and it's fun.
What's a good murder mystery movie that you've watched?
Right now it's this one, these two.
Besides, can you think of any other ones?
I know I watched a few back in the day, but I cannot for the life of me remember what they were.
Have you seen Murder on the Orient Express?
Feels familiar.
Agatha Christie.
Oh, it must be good then, Agatha Christie.
So I think there's two, in Detective Poirot, right?
Hercule Poirot.
Yeah. So the movie. Let's see when it came out. Murder.
I'm pretty sure I watched it. I think this is one of those that came out in RTM TV2 long time ago, right?
No, it's 2017.
Oh, then maybe not.
Yeah. So Murder on the Orient Express came out in 2017, and there was a sequel to it. I think it's Murder on the Nile or something like that. But Murder on the Orient Express was good. I felt like I definitely enjoyed it. Of course, if you read the book, you'd know what happens. But if you didn't read the book and you didn't know what happened, it was a nice, interesting twist. Death on the Nile is the sequel to that.
Oh.
Death on the Nile, I felt not as good.
After 2017, that is what?
This is 2022, this year.
Right. So for those of you who don't know, Hercule Poirot is sort of like another version of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, the French version, I guess.
The French version of the greatest detective in the world.
Yeah.
And now we got, what's his name? Benoit Blanc.
Benoit Blanc.
From Glass Onion.
Yeah. I realize that a lot of these types of detectives, there's always going to be a little bit of a twist to them, right? So I do find a lot of this stuff interesting. Though there's one where I feel like there's a twist to this detective thing and it doesn't work.
What movie is this?
It's called Eternity, I think it's called. Eternal, where it's this doctor who, oh man, I just watched this. It's this doctor, right? Who's like a British doctor in New York, who's like a surgeon that he can kind of notice things about you, like, oh, you're not married because your ring is blah blah blah, like this Sherlock Holmes kind
regular
of thing, right?
Sherlock Holmes stuff, okay.
Yeah, but the twist is whenever he dies, he comes back to life in a body of water. So he's been alive since the 13th century or something like that.
Oh wow.
So he can't die. So whenever he dies, he comes back to life in that body of water. So it's like Sherlock Holmes with a twist.
Right.
It only lasted one season, unfortunately.
Okay,
Ever After? Okay, I can't remember what it's called. It's so bad that it's like it's really it's not even that memorable like the title, right? But there's some that work, some that work.
Sure.
Castle is a little bit like that.
Castle, okay.
He's a murder mystery writer trying to solve like murder mysteries with the NYPD, right? So I always find that that's kind of interesting.
Hey, okay, no, I think I only know this because you've mentioned this to me a lot of times, the castle thing.
Right.
Because when you said murder mystery writer who's going with along with the police, it almost feels like I watched this film, but I know I haven't.
Right.
So it must have been from whatever you talked about.
Right. Yeah. So no, in the pilot of Castle, the detective comes to him and says that there's a bunch of people getting murdered, similar to how murders happen in his book. So they want to ask him for some advice, and he's got writer's block because he's just ended his main character.
Right.
Oh, one more thing I want to add in before about the recruit. Okay, but never mind. Let me talk about this first. So then, his character's name is Derek Storm, right? So, is that Derek Storm? Yeah, correct. Derek Storm is his character, is a spy, right? And what happens is that they start to happen similar to his books. So he's called in for advice, and then he helps them solve the murder, and then he realizes that this kind of like inspires him to write.
Right.
So he uses connections with the mayor to force the police to let him tag along with the cases.
Bring him along on the cases.
So that's the premise of the pilot, right? Okay, so
about the recruit.
The recruit, right? So he's a spy, CIA, and I'm just like, wait a minute, isn't this Castle's character Derek Storm?
Right.
From Castle. So I feel like, because there was a talk when Castle ended that they were going to introduce Derek Storm as a character in a TV show.
Okay.
And they never got around to doing it. And then now they've got this recruit who's also a CIA, similar creator from The Rookie.
Name is not Derek Storm, though.
Name is not Derek Storm. What's his face? Nathan Fillion is in it. And I'm like, is this Derek Storm?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But because they didn't get the rights to do it, they're just changing the names up a little bit.
And I think maybe one of the reasons is flexibility. Because if they don't write it exactly like how Derek Storm is,
you can go wherever you want.
Yeah, the fans are going to be like, that's not how Derek Storm is.
Oh, yeah, you know how fans are.
Yeah.
But Stan Lee, the great Stan Lee would have said, Derek Storm is exactly how the writers who wrote Derek Storm want him to be, not how you want him to be.
Correct.
So, not Derek Storm, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, nerds.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, that's the same answer they gave that. What happens if Green Lantern were to fight Superman, or Wonder Woman were to fight Spider-Man? Who would win? And he said the winner would be whoever the writers say.
Whoever the writers want to say will win.
Yeah.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, write your own story.
Yeah.
Make that a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what like nerds argue about stuff, right? It's like the whole what do you call it? In Superman, I think in the old Christopher Reeve Superman. Lois Lane is falling from the building, and then Superman goes down and catches her.
Physically, you would break her back. Is that what you were saying?
And she's like, he says, "I've got you," and then she's like, "You've got me, but who's got you?" Right? That part, right? So then in the Big Bang Theory, they said if that were to actually happen in real life, because his arms are steel, right? And he were to catch her falling at that descent, it would chop her body into 3 parts.
Yes. It actually would.
So yeah.
Same with a lot of other superhero physics.
Cruel death. Yeah.
One interesting thing I watched though, it's not a movie, it's a documentary.
Okay.
I haven't finished it yet, but it's very interesting. It's called Orgasm Inc.
Okay.
The story of One Taste. It's about a woman who set up a company called One Taste.
Okay.
And this company is all about exploring female orgasm.
Okay.
But then somehow...
So far, not a bad idea.
Right? But then from what they said in the trailer is like she does some bad things. I'd like to find out what those bad things were.
It's in the trailer.
Yeah. Try check it out.
Oh, you know what? A trailer I saw recently? Chris Rock's comedy special.
Oh yeah, it's coming out in March.
In March, yeah, called Selective Outrage.
Selective Outrage.
Right?
I think I definitely want to watch that. That's where we gotta get the lowdown on Will Smith and
Is
the
it called
beef
selective
or whatever.
outrage?
Yeah,
Is that what it's
selective
called?
outrage.
Is that what it's called?
Selective outrage. That's the one.
Selective outrage. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Rock. I think that's gonna be watched by everybody.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah. No. The thing is, that I have my opinion about Will Smith. Right. I love Will Smith. Will Smith is like
He
my
does.
favorite celebrity
Since
from,
forever, since
from the 90s, man.
Even before Men in Black,
Yeah.
Fresh Prince, even I
From
think.
Fresh Prince days.
She has like
Yeah.
this Will Smith.
He's free. I mean, I.
And to be
known-
honest, I did too. I like Fresh
I
Prince,
love
Bad Boys,
yeah.
you know,
Independence
MIB,
Day.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
I
MIB
think
for me not so much,
ID4
but-
was his first like major film thing,
Yes,
right?
Correct.
ID4. Was that before or after Bad Boys?
No, Bad
around
Boys
that
was
time.
first.
Bad Boys,
was
yeah.
first.
I think
The first
Bad Boys kicked
yeah.
him off. Bad Boys kicked him off onto the big screen.
Yeah.
And then it was like ID4 and wow.
Yeah, so he's done a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
I've liked. Big fan of his music as well.
And
you
I'm
know?
a big drama kind of guy. I like those movies where it's like pulling at your heartstrings. So Pursuit of Happiness, he was
Right.
good in it.
Right.
So you can see that he's got acting chops, lah. The dude,
Right,
he can pull off the characters.
yeah.
Like there's another one where he's working as a medical doctor in the NFL, I think.
Oh yeah, Concussion.
Concussion. That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
Basically, any movie I've ever seen Will Smith in is usually very good.
Wild Wild West.
Maybe with the exception of one.
So put a hole in that logic right
Yeah,
there. Right?
okay, you got a point there.
Wicka Wicka Wild Wild West. Although I did like the song though.
It was entertaining though.
Yeah.
Entertaining, but yeah.
Anti-military training.
Yes,
definitely.
anti-military training. But not one of his best movies, I would say.
So so the thing is, right? I love Will Smith.
Yes.
But I feel like Will Smith is too Hollywood. Like he's like removed from reality a little bit. And I saw his interview with Trevor Noah, right? So
Was it a recent one?
Yeah, pretty recent actually.
Oh,
So
after the incident even.
after the incident, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, I guess.
Oh, I have to check this out. Okay,
Yeah.
go on.
So Will Smith's safety word is you know. He says you know maybe like 40 times in the interview. I'm like, the thing happens, and it's not really like that, So you want to count the amount of times is, I get it. He's not comfortable in that topic and stuff like that, right? Okay. But this is the thing about Will Smith is that in the interview with Trevor Noah, he kind of made it about him a little bit.
Rather than
apologizing to Chris Rock. So
Right.
I feel like any opportunity you get, you need to apologize to Chris Rock. Yes, he feels bad. Of course he feels bad about it, right? But he needs, you can't make it about yourself. Like, if I was Chris Rock and I was watching this, I'd just be like, why the fuck should I give a shit about your feelings right now? You're
Right.
the one that fucking slapped me, right?
I'm the one with the sting on my face.
Yes, exactly. So this whole thing of you need to forgive yourself and your nephew asking you, why did you hit that guy? And you feel shitting about it. That's all what you feel. And it's fine for you to express that. But you need to apologize to Chris Rock every time you talk about it.
Has he actually apologized in person yet? I mean, I think
No.
he wrote a Twitter or something.
No, he did a
right?
video. So
Oh, a video.
this is another thing about his video, right? He did a video apology like 3 months after the incident. So 2 things about that thing, right? One is the sign at the background. That's some things like "love is the way" or something like that. Like, dude, you just fucking slapped somebody and now you're like, "Love is the way." What the fuck is happening? So that's. It seems a bit like you are removed from reality a little bit when you do stuff like that. Says, I want to be about love, and I was like, okay, that's great that you feel about that, but your actions totally does
Do
not
not
match
speak to
this
that,
at
yeah.
all, So I feel like it's very Hollywood. That's one. Second thing is that he shot the thing from a 2-camera point.
Okay.
So I have a problem with this for 2 reasons. One is it seems kind of staged, because if you really wanted to apologize to someone, right, what would you do? You just do what Joe Rogan did. You grab a phone, you're talking to the phone, hey, I'm sorry this happened. I don't know what was going on with me. and blah 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 blah.
Who did Joe Rogan apologize to?
He apologized to the people because somebody took a video of him saying the N-word over and over again in his podcast over the last 20 years, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
And he does say quite a bit.
Oh, yes, he does.
So he apologized.
Would anything happen if we said it?
Nothing in Malaysia, because
YouTube probably pull you down.
I don't know whether YouTube would pull you down, but if you ever had any ambitions of becoming like a
international star,
Superman in America, I'm guessing you're going to get canceled for that, buddy.
Right.
So you want to keep your options open for that.
Correct.
Henry
Okay.
Cavill is retired, so you never know.
Who knows?
They're
They
like,
might
hey,
need a black Superman.
we need to be woke, so we need a brown Asian Superman. There you go.
Fit for the role. Come on, directors.
Yeah, exactly. So, and also I've got American friends who might find it a bit difficult to accept it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You got to realize that culturally it's different here, right?
Very different.
We don't have the same taboo, so people say it here, believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
And it's not like a.
I mean, we got a friend.
Yeah.
His name is Vip. I mean,
yeah.
He's got a girlish name.
His name is he's got like a girl name. Let's say it's Ashley, right?
Ashley.
Okay.
So instead of saying, he doesn't. When you call him Ashley, let's say, he'll say, "Don't call me Ashley. Call me the N-word."
Yes.
And
that was
we
his
actually
nickname.
grew up in school calling him that.
Yes.
All the way.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
Because he thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Cooler than Ashley.
And
guess.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Because every time you see the word or hear the word more like in movies, generally it's like in a cool setting. It's a cool vibe.
Yeah. You got to realize if you don't live in America, you don't understand the social contract that people have there. Like only black people can say that.
Very strange.
You live in a place where there's almost no black people and almost no white people, and you're just kind of like, I don't understand all that.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it. Yeah.
What's so bad about this word?
Anyway,
so two cameras,
divergence.
very
so
staged.
Two cameras. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So back to the point. So there's two cameras, right? It seems very staged. That's one thing. It seems like, why are you setting all of this up like this? The second thing is, why would somebody set up two cameras?
The third thing now.
The second thing about
the second thing.
About the second thing, yes,
okay.
Correct. Why would he set up two cameras? What do you think?
I don't know, so that he can do stuff like, I apologize.
No.
I don't know.
Okay. Because he can edit. If it's just one camera,
it's going to be a continuous shot.
It's going to be a continuous shot.
But
right?
here you can like sort of pretend like it was a jump cut to the other camera.
No, here it could be like, I'll film you, blah blah blah. I'm really sorry about this, and then cut this, and then you're just like, how did that sound? Did that sound sincere? Oh yeah, no, it sounded sincere. No, I think you need to sound a little sadder, and I think you need you to look this way. Okay, I'll do retake. Okay.
Right, but the retake will be from the next view.
About it. Yeah. Right. So it's easier to cut when you've got
multiple cameras.
When you've got multiple cameras, the cut doesn't seem obvious. So then it seems even more staged.
Wow, I had not thought of that, but now that you say it, totally makes sense.
This is what happens when you're in production and you actually have multiple cameras from different angles, right? So,
I see now.
So we're cutting this shit, and you just don't know. You just don't know. We're cutting this shit, all right? So
it's like a
yes,
I get it now.
So I feel like Will Smith is not really sorry. He's not sorry. He's sorry for himself that he lost his temper.
And this is just media control.
Yeah.
What do you call? Damage control.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't even think it's damage control. I think it's him trying to talk to himself to make himself feel better.
Right.
So he says that he's reached out to Chris, and Chris's team doesn't want to talk about it.
Right.
And he's ready when Chris's team does want to talk about it, right? And Chris is like, I just got slapped by Muhammad Ali, right? I need to make as much money from this as possible, which is exactly where the comedy
what he's doing, right? So that's where we get selective outrage.
Correct. Which is going to be live, apparently. So it's going to be a live stand-up comedy show on Netflix. Has that ever happened before?
Never done that before.
I don't think it's ever happened before. Yeah.
Oh, because here I was thinking, wow, okay, he already shot it, is it?
Yeah. So
now you're telling me it's live?
Yeah. So it says here, comedian's second stand-up special, not almost a year after the Oscars. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Did Dave Chappelle do it live?
Upcoming comedy event, and its first ever event to stream live globally.
Wow.
Wow.
That is
Wow.
going to be amazing because that
Yeah.
is literally a platform that is global.
Yes.
And if it's live, that
Yeah.
means there's not going to be any edits.
Yeah, and not just that. Can you imagine the amount of people tuning into this? Because of the oh man, like Will Smith is going to be the bad guy for for however long this comedy special is gonna last. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So while I definitely still love Will Smith, nothing has changed. Okay, so this is the thing, right? You can love somebody and still criticize them.
Yeah.
You can hate something and still find some good in it. You know,
In fact, you might even say that because you love that something, you would criticize. If you didn't, you wouldn't even care about Will Smith.
Now, we live in a world of polarization, right? Where if you love something, everything about it is perfect, and if you hate something, everything about it is bad, right? Whereas it's like, I love Will Smith, but what he did is wrong, it's fucked up, and how he's handling it is not good enough. You know?
Yeah.
It's not about you apologizing to people and apologizing to yourself. It's about you apologizing to Chris Rock, okay? You got to do it every time you got an interview. And this is another thing, like, probably he did it because he was mad about something that was attacking him previously. I'm sure people have given him a lot of shit for stuff. And maybe he felt like he needed to lash out at some people who were, like, giving him shit. But he chose to lash out at the wrong person at the wrong time. So,
at the wrong place, man. There was the cameras over there. What are you doing?
So he should have maybe lashed out at the correct person at the correct time, but he kind of held it together maybe. I don't know what somebody's going through, right?
And you can also say that when you lose it, you lose it. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah,
when
but
you lose it, you lose
there's
it.
absolutely consequences to you doing that, you know?
Yeah.
And there's one more thing I wanted to mention. There was a question that they asked him in the interview.
Trevor Noah.
Not the one where he did the video apology.
Oh, the video apology.
With the cameras, right? They asked him, why didn't you apologize to Chris Rock when you won the Oscar? And he said, man, things were really fuzzy at that point. I didn't really know what was happening and stuff like that. I feel like that's a lie. That's not why he didn't apologize to Chris Rock, okay? The reason why he didn't apologize to Chris Rock when he won the Oscar is because he felt he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he won it 2 minutes later. He had like a good half an hour maybe to ponder and think about it.
Yeah. No, at that point, he definitely felt like, I did not do anything wrong. It was only the next day, perhaps, where he felt bad about it.
Yeah. In fact, even in his speech, he kind of alluded to that, saying that the devil will come after you or something.
He's a protector and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
You know
But
what
I believe what Denzel said was not about Chris Rock being the devil. He's saying that you are the devil at that point. But Will Smith didn't get it.
Yeah, or like your anger is the devil at that point.
More like the anger is the devil. But instead, I think in Will Smith's head is like, Chris Rock was the devil who came to get me at that time.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was the message that Denzel, because Denzel, I'm pretty sure, is a cool guy.
Yeah. And all Hollywood standing up and applauding him, even though he just slapped Chris Rock.
That was something wrong with that picture, right?
Oh, what's happening? I get it. You can't step on the wrong toes, because if you're in Hollywood and you piss off the wrong person,
and you're not sucking what's that guy's dick?
Right.
The one who just got sent to jail. What's his name?
Weinstein.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, not a big deal. We just turned the camera back.
Yes.
And you won't even notice because we did a Will Smith.
Yes. We're gonna cut it from the multiple angles that we have.
Edited it. You didn't know when we cut, right? You didn't know. You didn't know when Will Smith did it either.
Here's a challenge. Give us the exact time point where we did the edit, where Shaz will expertly snip it that you cannot even notice.
Yeah, exactly.
Paid to have gone and learned film in university, huh?
In fact, I did the same thing for Will Smith. You don't know.
You don't know.
I edited it for Will Smith. Who knows?
Hello. Yo, Shaz. I did a video. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to edit it for me.
That's that. You need to add the ha ha.
Yo, Shaz, ha ha. Can you do a Will Smith impression?
Hey man, it's like
oh, that's not too bad. Okay.
So that's my Will Smith impression.
Yeah, but now that you mentioned it, like he does that a lot, right? He
Yeah.
does a few things. I think there was an interview not interview, the one where he was doing that circle table with the Jada Pinkett Smith.
Right.
I felt he looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, definitely.
The red table guy, something.
Well, like Jada Pinkett admitted that she was having sex with another guy with her friend's son.
And he was like, oh.
But the thing is that there's a rumor that they're swingers.
Yeah, apparently they're like a open relationship or something.
Rumor has it he's fucked Margot Robbie. So
that's the one he was in the married thing, right? Wedding? No, what's it called? Hitched.
Hitched is
Because
Eva Mendes.
With her also, right?
Really, with Eva Mendes as well.
I thought because when
not bad. I mean, if it's Eva Mendes and Margot Robbie, okay, those are pretty top of the list girls. So. Maybe that arrangement, like Jada Pinkett got like her friends, her son's friends. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. It's not Tupac. So.
Right.
So yeah, but yeah, this. So Will Smith, I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but I hope that he stops making all of these Oscar movies because I think it's getting to him.
Maybe.
I think just stick to Saving Us from Aliens. And we'll be good.
I haven't watched King Richard though. I wonder if it's even worth watching.
King Richard.
That's the one where he's plays Venus and Serena Williams' dad.
Oh,
the one that won the Oscar. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
I haven't watched that. I don't know if it's worth it.
I haven't watched it either. Yeah.
I kind of like these kind of films actually.
Right.
I really enjoy those.
People films.
People films. In fact, a film that I just watched recently is called Im Westen nicht Noise, which means all quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, okay.
This is about the World War One kali. No, German too.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Both of them German, you know that, right?
Oh yeah. Both of them German. This I think is this is the first one I think.
Right.
Where millions of people died on that front line.
Okay.
And then this one they're just showing the atrocities of war and how when you watch the American-made films about Nazi Germany, it's always like the Nazi Germany is like, yes, we're robots doing exactly. But then when you watch this one, it's like they're just kids.
Right.
Kids who are like excited to go to war because hey, we're gonna fight for the nation. And you see that it's like they're just people.
Right.
And they're being duped by the government. And as the film goes along and people start to realize like what the is going on?
Right.
And you see the people macam already like even the German soldiers are like, you want me to what now?
Right.
You want me to march? Oh, come on, like that.
Which is probably what a lot of Russian soldiers are feeling right now, right?
Yeah, I'm very sure. I mean, it's not their, yes, they're carrying the guns, but if you don't do it, you're going to get shot for being a traitor.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Exactly. Yeah.
In fact, that actually happens in this All Quiet on the Western Front.
There's a Tom Cruise movie where he plays a German officer that's trying to kill Hitler, and he's unsuccessful. Yeah. But as usual, they're Germans, so they all speak in a British accent.
Right.
It's like a lot of Americans can be like, it's in Europe, so it's about the same, I guess.
Yes, they'll probably all speak like this.
Valkyrie, that's what it's called.
Valkyrie.
2008.
Right.
Where they're trying to, they're Germans who are trying to kill Hitler because they disagree with the war, right?
Right.
And what I actually want to see is a movie that's not been made yet. Is a lot of movies are made about the war, right?
Sure.
For sure, this could be boring, but I kind of want a movie to know what happened in Japan and Germany after they lost. Like, how do they reconcile that they have lost this huge war, and how does their society sort of get back to being normal? I guess, if that makes sense.
Wait, but when you say it like that, right? I just read about a film which I think I want to watch, which is about the sort of what happened in Britain after this whole nuclear thing. Nuclear blah.
This is an alternate timeline? What's happening?
No. What I meant was after the war, basically the whole the financial situation, etc. I can't remember the name of the movie, but I feel like I want to watch that one. There is one, but it's not. The thing is, it's about the winners also, so it's not really about Germany and Japan. So I would like to see what happened Yeah, like how did they come? I mean, as you can see now, Japan and Germany, they are pretty much in the top 20 of everything good now. Japan is like top in science and math, maybe right after Singapore, I don't know. Germany is just doing fantastic.
Well, the best cars come from Japan and Germany, right?
Yeah, Japan and Germany got the best cars, the best TV, the best technology. And a mere 70 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more because now it's 2022.
No.
Yeah, but 70, 80 years ago?
80 years ago, yeah.
They were completely devastated. They were in a situation where you wouldn't want any country to be in.
Right.
Unless you're America.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, it would be nice to watch a film which maybe goes through how they went about it, what happened, how did they survive, how did they become the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Ha Something has happened.
But you did not notice it, did you?
Maybe you did, because I did move something, so it might be something you didn't notice. Maybe.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
So you were telling me something about something.
Oh, the island?
Yes.
Yes. So I might have mentioned the island the other day, saying that, my God, the dialogue is stupid.
Right.
But I watched it, I mean, not watch it again, but I continued watching it for a bit, and it hit me. It's not that the writing is particularly stupid, because the story is kind of compelling. You want to find out what's going on next. But the dialogue just allows the audience to not have to interpret anything. No, you don't have to think. Like, what is this guy feeling? Why does this guy... Everything is going to be exposed in the dialogue.
Exposition dump, basically, right?
Basically. So that you do not have any interpretation. There's no reading between the lines. You just lie on the thing and turn off your brain, I believe. And it's meant... And that is how, in the first episode, they can fill so many, like, plot events that would have taken any other series like 3 or 4 episodes to do. In one episode, they already do like this, boom, 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 this is the hero, bop, 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 somebody dies. Holy moly.
That is a very delicate thing to do, where you need to explain to the audience what's happening, but at the same time, you can't over-explain. Over-explain, it becomes boring, right? And it's true. Sometimes you need to show, not tell, and you also need to omit some stuff and let the audience kind of figure it out for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's like you said, a subtle art in movie making. And those movies that get it right, those are the ones that you're glued to your seat. It's like, but wait, hang on. And then you're thinking about it, and then you're running through the movie, that up to that point, you're running it through your head again just to figure out why. Why is it happening?
And there's also the flip side of that.
Which is
you as a writer, you understand why these sequence of events are happening, right? But then when somebody else reads your story, they're like, why is this happening? And you're like, oh, because this happened. Is that not obvious? No, it's not obvious. So the flip side,
you cannot be too obscure. You cannot be too subtle.
It's not even obscure. It's just the way the story unravels. If that makes sense, you know. So it's not easy. Not easy. That's why even like to sit down and write. That's very difficult. Like for me, I am trying to write. I'm trying to write. So what happens is that I am using. So if you've heard of ChatGPT. It is a very useful tool. It's not going to be able to write a novel for you. Like if you said, ChatGPT, write a novel, it's not going to do that for you. So,
wouldn't it be great if it did, though?
It would be great if it did, yeah. Maybe one day you'll get there, right? But what you can do is, you can kind of like say, okay, this is the story, maybe you can give me some ideas, or this is the story, how do I say it in a different way? This is the story, like how do I like improve it or whatever, right? So ChatGPT can actually give you like correct your grammar or like tell it in a proper way or proper expressions and tell it in a better way that makes sense. And sometimes it can give you ideas, and there's even like one point where it'll introduce new characters, and then it'll be like, who's this character? Then it'll be like, I don't know. This character is just blah, 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 right?
And you're basically chatting with this bot.
Yeah, and then you tell the bot, okay, let's say this character is blah, blah, blah. Give me the backstory. This person was born in blah, blah, blah.
And it's really good. It's really good.
It's a decent story, right? Sometimes ChatGPT doesn't quite understand what you're saying to it. But this is what I find about writing stories. My personal experience as an amateur right there, right? It's difficult to get someone to be invested in your story. Like a lot of people, not only is it going to be difficult for them to have your vision, like your vision is already very difficult, right? Your vision of the story. But to get someone to actually be interested, to know your characters, to know what's happening, it's very, very difficult.
Right. Never mind the why a character is doing something.
Yes.
Yeah, right. They've got other things that they're worried about.
Yeah,
right?
they're not interested, and even when there are some people who are interested, it's going to be difficult to get them on the same page because they're going to have their own take on it.
Their own interpretations based on their realities.
Exactly.
Of course.
And if you're like, no, that's not what I wanted, because I have tried to get ghostwriters to help me with my stories, right? And after like trying it 2 or 3 times, I found that all the ghostwriters were bad. Maybe one of them was not so bad, but that also I had to like adjust what he was writing. But people are not going to have the same vision that you have.
Right. Maybe it's not bad, but it's not what you wanted.
Yes, that's true.
And that's kind of hard to do, like you said.
And a lot of them, unless you pay them like a lot of money, they're not going to be completely invested in your story, right? So ChatGPT does that very well.
It's a nice medium, basically.
Yes, where it knows your story. It remembers what you're talking about. It knows who these characters are. It can give you ideas on how to progress it.
Right.
But of course, it can't completely write it for you, right? But it's good enough that you have this person. And let's say, for example, you're helping me write a story, right? And you give an idea, Shaz, no, maybe this guy should be a wizard, or maybe there should be a dragon, or maybe the dragon should be black. And I'd be like, no, blah, 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 something else, right? You'd be like, what la this Shaz? All my ideas also he don't like. I don't want to help you like your story anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the good thing is that you have an AI bot like this. You can just be like, no, that's a stupid idea, ChatGPT. Let's go in another direction.
And it's not gonna have hard feelings.
It doesn't give a shit, right? It's just an AI, right? So, but so that in a sense that I feel is good, and this is something that I feel, right?
Actually, it's not really an AI. It's just like
I mean, it is an AI.
I guess so. I guess it is.
I mean, the way it can interpret what you're saying and understand it and rewrite it sometimes in a different way and understand the context of it and remember what you wrote earlier on.
I'd like to see it. I wonder how it would do in a Turing test, though. I just wonder.
I mean, honestly, if the Turing test is just, can you tell if this is human or not? I think it's already passed it. I mean, if that's just what the Turing test is, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, like, I find that if, let's say, story is a house, okay? You've got nice house, you've got sucky house, and you've got no house.
Right.
Right? It is much, much easier to go to nice house from sucky house than to go to sucky house from no house.
Right.
To build that structure is very difficult. That's the most difficult part about the story, I feel. I feel personally, right?
Right.
So ChatGPT, I feel, can help you get to that no
point.
house to some
sucky house,
you know?
Right.
And then after that, you gotta like adjust on top of it. Obviously, I mean, if you're using ChatGPT to write your novel alone, it's going to suck, right? It's not gonna have any personality, and it's gonna sound a little like a robot.
Right.
You know? But just to get someone interested in your story, that's already really good.
Yeah,
I think it's really good.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Really good.
Because a lot of times I try to tell people about my stories, and sometimes they're interested, and sometimes they're like, "You're really weird, Shaz." Is this why you call me out for mama? Yeah. So basically, that's what I find. Like a lot of stories, like that balance is difficult. It's not easy to find that balance, and sometimes even famous actors acted movies where they're over explaining stuff. So yeah.
Right. No, I was just trying to think of any movies I've seen where it's so obvious that they're doing it. Besides the island.
The exposition dump. Let's see. This is what I found, right? One of the ways that you can avoid an exposition dump is to not dump it all in one go.
Right, bit by bit.
You gotta dump it a little bit, have clues a little bit. You know, if it's all in one go, then it's like terrible, right? So you gotta dump it a little bit here and there, right? Okay. And you gotta not fill in the gaps all immediately. If movies that can do that. So like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Matrix.
Oh, that's a very good one. The first Matrix,
The first Matrix.
I'm pretty sure.
The only Matrix.
The only Matrix.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yes, yes. Yes,
I mean, the thing is that I love Keanu Reeves. Right?
Yeah.
But in the last Matrix, you could tell like he's old. And if Keanu Reeves is old, means I'm old. Because throughout the whole movie, he was just doing force push. Whereas like in the first Matrix, he was doing
jumping
all kinds of
around, doing
shit.
kung fu and stuff.
Now he's like, old man, force push.
Yes, I'm not gonna move my legs too much. Force push.
Not too much jumping, all right? Not too much moving. Force push. So the thing is that in the first Matrix, there was a lot of questions.
Right.
When it first started, like this hackers, how is she's got these powers? Why did she have to get to the phone booth? Why did they run the phone booth and she wasn't in the phone booth? So many questions, right? So when it came to the exposition dump, when Morpheus is like, this is the construct.
Right.
What is real? Real is whatever your brain perceives, blah, blah, blah. So that was an exposition dump at that point, right? But at that point, I felt like there were enough clues that were dumped at that point. When the exposition dump came, and the way it was presented is also very creative, right? It wasn't just like blah, 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 blah. It was a lot of showing as well, right? So when the exposition dump came, it was still okay. You know, so that was one of the times where the exposition dump I felt like was okay. Was good, yeah. And another movie where the reveal comes and there's a little bit of an exposition dump also is Fight Club. Same year, 1999.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Fight Club.
Brad Pitt explains to Edward Norton that we're the same person, right?
Right.
And then there's all the flashbacks and stuff like that, right?
Spoiler, by the way.
Spoilers, yeah. But there was a lot of clues dumped along the way. So that's what I feel one of the ways is you kind of like give some information and blah, blah, blah. You know there's a Malaysian Fight Club?
Really?
Yes.
No, wait, I think you mentioned it. What was it called?
The exact same plot of Fight Club.
It's out on what? Astro or something?
Yeah, it's out on Astro.
Oh.
It is called, spoiler, I forgot you already, I mean, if I've told you it's Fight Club, you know what the story is about, right?
Right.
It's called The Assistant.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's basically a Fight Club.
Fight
And
Club,
it's not bad. I mean, it's not like, you don't expect like Hollywood kind of storytelling. Right?
You watched it already?
I watched it already. I watched the whole movie. One
Good,
of the few
good.
Malaysian movies that I watched until the end, you know?
Okay, this is one I want to watch. I just
Right.
don't know where to pirate it.
Right.
It's called The 2-Cent Thief. Have you heard of this?
No.
So it's a true story,
Okay.
not a real story. It's a true story. Remember the story about the guy who worked at a bank who stole like the point 000 something cents?
Okay.
He stole that for years, and eventually he kantoi because he could show up on TV with a Lamborghini, and then his boss was like, "Hey, that's my stuff. How come you got a Lamborghini?"
Right.
Kantoi. But before that, he was minting money apparently.
Really?
So this 2-cent thief is supposed to be a story about that dude.
Okay.
And I've been seeing reviews about it being very good.
Okay.
So if you can get Astro and watch it, let me watch the Astro with you also, please.
It's a Malaysian
Malaysian
Oh.
film.
Oh, it's in Malay? English? Manglish?
I think it's in probably Manglish like that.
Okay.
2-Cent
It's a
thief.
Malaysian that did this 2-cent thief. Is it an actual Malaysian?
Oh yeah,
guy?
it's an actual Malaysian guy.
Oh,
So
okay.
okay. In my university when we were doing IT, I was learning IT. I did IT. This story was actually one of the stories that was told to us in the security class.
Right.
They said there was this dude who worked in the bank, and he managed to figure out how to get into the system
Right.
and just take off because in the banks
Right.
they actually have like not just like 12 ringgit and 22 cents.
Right.
It'll be like 12 ringgit and 22 078 at the back are like 7 or 8 digits or some
Right.
shit. He will just take like the last 2 digits so that nobody can notice.
Right.
And he did that over like don't know how many accounts
Right.
and how many years. The only reason he kantoi is because he was suddenly on TV
Oh, right.
and he had a Lambo, driving a Lambo or something like that, and his boss saw.
That's
Boss
okay.
or his colleague.
Wouldn't Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri pick up On
I
Lambo?
don't know. I guess
Okay.
somehow he managed to avoid all that while.
Okay.
But then when somebody saw him on TV with the Lambo, they were like, "Wait a minute."
Okay, wait. I gotta go repark my Lambo. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So check that one out if you can, and if it's good, let me know. And then if you got the Astro, let me see it.
Okay.
No piracy happening here,
Piracy,
guys. No.
That would be illegal.
We do not condone that.
Yeah. But no, The Assistant is on Netflix, right? And yeah.
Oh, The Assistant is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix,
It's a Malaysian movie.
Malaysian movie, yes.
Okay, I will. Movie or series?
Movie.
I shall watch
Yeah.
this.
The only thing about it is that I find Malaysian film, like this is a A-grade Malaysian film, right? This is
Okay,
like the best
okay.
of the best lah, so to speak, right? The thing about it that bugged me is we have pretty decent cinematography. Like our cinematography is on point. Technically, we're fine, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just the acting. Some of it is very weird,
yes,
and the dialogue. Like I find that a lot of Malaysian films do this very weird one sentence in Malay, one sentence in English Manglish.
Right.
We don't talk like that. You know, we have like a base language, Malay ka, English ka, whatever, right? And then we add words into that language. We don't have one sentence English, one sentence Malay, one sentence. Or you ask me, talk to me in Malay, I jawab in English. It doesn't make any sense.
No, like that.
Nobody talks like that. Why is your dialogue so weird? That's one, okay?
Or in Malay, in Manglish is, why your dialogue so one kind?
Yeah, why so one kind one? Kenapa like this?
Kenapa like this?
Kenapa like this? What's happening, you know? Sudah cacatet.
Exactly.
That's how we talk, right? We'll take an English word, we'll modify it into a Malay word, or it's basically, it's not a complete nice English sentence, nice Malay sentence. We take all the words, we put it in a blender, we turn it on, and we see what the fuck happens right? So that's the dialogue is weird. And not just this movie. Almost all Malaysian movies. I don't know whether there's like a directive.
I think there is.
From Finas
I
or
remember.
something like
I remember
that?
listening or reading about this, and I believe it is from Finas saying that you cannot campur aduk kononnya words in a sentence.
I mean, I hope it's like some kind of restriction, and that's why the Manglish is so weird. But otherwise, if it's not a restriction,
stop doing it. Yeah.
Stop doing it. Exactly. It's so weird. Nobody talks like that. So that's one. Second thing is that the actors do this weird thing where they'll talk, but they're not looking at you, like I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I'll be like, Fadil, actually, what has happened is, in my life, like, where the fuck are you looking, dude? What's happening? What's happening on the wall there? You know?
Hey, I think I saw like a comedy sketch about this where they were doing like a Hong Kong movie, and then there'll be like a guy talking, son, you have to, and then he's looking out the window, and the son is behind, and the son is like, Dad, I'm over here.
Right. It's really weird, right? So it's just stuff like that that I find like kind of odd, like the acting choices. It's very theater, you know?
Right. And I don't know if they still do it, but they go to a club and they drink orange juice. Really?
Right.
Everybody drink orange juice in the club.
In the club, right. Actually, a lot of people use apple juice for beer. Like I acted in this one show called Front Page, and all the beers were apple juice.
I'm not talking about it's supposed to be alcoholic drink, and they actually go there. Can I have an orange juice, please?
Oh, because memang beer haram, bro.
Haram. Mana boleh minum beer?
Yeah, exactly.
Orange juice in the club, you say? If don't have vodka, I don't believe. Bluffing me.
Yeah. That one okay lah. It's weird, but it's not like I have seen people order normal drinks in a club before, right?
Yeah. It's not completely weird.
But what's really weird is I've never met a person in real life that talks to me and he stares at an empty wall when he talks to me. I'd be like, what is wrong with you, dude? Are you okay?
Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to, man? So weird, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Does it have to do with like the framing of the camera or something? I don't know.
I don't care what the reason is. The fact that you're doing it is weird.
Right.
What is this? So yeah, that's the thing that bothers me about the Malaysian movies. Two things lah, which is acting is very fucking weird. Some of it, right? Your acting choices. Second thing is the dialogue. So yeah.
But there are a couple of guys I've seen in the local scene yang wow, their dialogue is really on spot. But then it's mostly a Malay film.
Okay.
So they speak in Malay lah.
Mm.
But at least they're talking like macam it sounds real. Sounds like how a real person would talk.
Okay.
What's his name? That fella.
Sam. Okay.
Shahizi Sam. That guy is fan-fucking-tastic.
Right.
He's really good. Shahizi Sam, and there's this other guy who I saw. He plays a gangster in a local series lah. Wow, tapi his dialogue is very real lah. Macam, and it's maybe it's because he's not under finance or what, and he got a lot of cursing inside there.
Okay. No, I think that we definitely have good actors, right? But a lot of the actors are following instructions.
They have to follow the directors,
right? So it's like, script. Why are you making this creative choice to do it this way, which is not how maybe I come from a point of view of I look at Hollywood, right?
Right.
When Hollywood does things, people talk normally most of the time, right? You talking to you, I'm looking at you, or I'm sitting down, but we're still facing each other. Maybe this is from a different type of cinema that people don't do that, So maybe that's why. But logically also, right? I wouldn't talk to you and look in another direction for dramatic effect. It's just very strange. Or even worse, right? You're here, okay? I walked to your shoulder and talked to you. So you're kind of
my shoulder, looking that way.
The other way, yes.
And then we're like side by side like this.
Side by side, yes.
And I'm just not. I'm just looking straight too.
Yeah, yes. And
that'd be super dumb.
And I'll be like, remember your debt to me, all those years ago when I saved your family. And then you'd be like, what are you doing over there, bro?
Right.
So it's just weird. So yeah. Anyway.
This is the one I think. Okay, so the KL gangster underworld. I haven't watched this series yet, but I saw a couple of trailers and this dude apa nama dia ni ya? This guy. Look at this guy's face.
Okay.
This guy is really good, and I actually know this guy.
Okay.
From years ago, we used to hang out.
Okay.
But now he's a famous guy. I guess he probably won't remember me no more.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
What?
Yeah.
Sudah miss.
We were just talking about the Wheel of Fortune guy, right? He doesn't remember us.
Yeah.
Or maybe he does, I don't know. But yeah, no, I think that in terms of cinematography, our Malaysian movies is on point already.
Right.
Visually, audio, sound producing, that one is all cantik already.
Right.
It's just some of the artistic choices, the script and the dialogue that is a bit off. I watched this one movie also where again, I maybe am watching like a particular kind of cinema where I'm used to the cinema being in that way.
Okay.
And therefore, that's why probably I don't get it why it's being done this way. I don't know whether it's wrong or it's just a different kind of cinema, right?
Right.
Where this girl, she is her sister like marries the guy that she kind of likes, and that was like the traumatic event that happened to her, which because in a story there's like a formula that you need to follow, right? Something bad happens to the protagonist, and when that bad thing happens to the protagonist, you feel sorry for the protagonist, and then you follow the protagonist on that journey, right? And the bad thing that happened to her was her sister married a guy that she liked. And I felt like that's not a traumatic enough event to make me feel sorry for the protagonist to follow her,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know.
That sounds like something that happens to most people.
Yeah, it's not really very like traumatic and
or life changing or anything.
And I also realized that a lot of Malaysian films, right? I find that the characters are not very relatable. Like it's always like some datuk son, somebody who's super rich, some guy who's got a factory that has like 50,000 people inside, even though Google only has like 5,000 people. You heard about this? Right? Daddy punya company got like 50,000 people, and they're like, huh? Google one whole planet was only 5,000 people. Something like that. I can't quite remember what the actual numbers are. But it's not like an average Joe. You know what I mean? So I feel like there are not a lot of Malaysian films where it's just like an average Joe guy. It was just some dude. He's not rich. He's not poor. He's just a dude.
He's just a middle class dude.
Just a middle class dude, you know. It's always like the extreme level of something.
Super poor, come from an impoverished family, and then on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
Or some son of a datuk or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't know, but normal Malaysians boring. Is that it? Is that the reason why?
But there are a few. I mean, I've seen a lot of Malaysian films. They're quite good at actually. But then usually those are the ones which are not so box office, I guess.
Yeah. No, man, there are definitely interesting Malaysian films out there.
What was the name of the director, the lady director who died, who did a few very good ones?
Yasmin Yusof?
Yasmin Yusof, oh my
Is
goodness.
that her name? I feel like I got that wrong.
Anyway, Yasmin Yusof.
Is a radio announcer, isn't it?
Yasmin Yusof is the radio announcer. We're talking
Yasmin Ahmad.
Ahmad, that's
Yes,
the one.
Yasmin
Oh my
Ahmad,
goodness.
yeah.
Her films were fantastic.
She directed
Mawa, something.
that film where the Chinese guy and Malay girl. Right?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking about. Is it Mawar, Malur, something?
Oh man.
I can't freaking
So
remember.
this is the one thing that I will talk about. Like a lot of films back in the day.
Mhm.
I don't know why, but a lot of Malaysian films always have a prostitute in it.
Oh, really?
Like the older Malaysian films, I don't know why. There's always a hooker in it somewhere.
Right.
I think it's called Sepet.
Sepet, that's the one. That was
Sepet,
pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just about to see her. What do you call a director's list of movies? Like, discography is for songs. Filmography.
Filmography, yeah.
Film.
I got it here. Rabun Sepet Gubra, Muksin
Gubra.
Muala, Talent Time. And then you got
I haven't seen Talent
15
Time.
Puasa, Rain Dogs, Here in My Home, Susuk, End of the Day, Daybreak. This is a actress, or she's an actress. And she did a bunch of TV shows.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that definitely anyone that breaks the mold, so to speak, right, is worth doing. But film is a difficult thing to do. It is much more difficult than writing songs. Sorry, songwriters, but it is. It's just there's so many moving parts, and it's so expensive to make, right? So anyone that does make it, I have massive respect for them because it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to do, you know.
Okay.
Even if
fair
you make
enough.
utter crap, I still have massive respect.
Because
for
you have made a sucky something.
Yes.
And here I am with a nothing.
With a nothing, exactly. So well done on your sucky something because you're where I want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll be there someday.
Hopefully I too can make a sucky something one
Which
day.
will eventually, hopefully, lead to a very good something.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. But that's the first step, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The
That's the first step.
Being sucky at something is the first step to being moderately good at it.
Or to being less sucky at it.
Less sucky at it. Right?
Yeah. And that's sometimes I feel like sometimes everyone is like, when I start, I'm going to be amazing and everything is going to be great. But
Yeah.
it's like,
I just read a Reddit thread about this. Somebody was saying something like, how come all of those game developers on the Reddit threads are like super brilliant? And the answer is that because you're seeing the end result and not seeing the hard work that they've been putting in for the past 5 years, day in, day out, learning, trying, you know. Do not compare your behind the scenes film
right.
with somebody's highlight reel.
That's true.
You
That's
can't
very-
do that.
Very true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is it for today's episode.
Yes.
We do tend to ramble quite a bit. So
Yes, we
before
do.
we start to go into a ramble territory where it's just us, I don't know, what do we do in ramble territory? We start to like talk about
Random shit.
random stuff.
Yeah.
We start to go really off tangent.
In fact, I said today's episode was supposed to be a revenge. We ended up about prostitutes in Malay films. What the heck?
Well, we did talk a little bit about revenge.
We did a bit, yes.
We did, yeah. That's the jumping off point. Anyway, all right, so yeah, that's it. We'll be back again with another episode, and hopefully this is about an hour with all the secret cuts.
Okay.
And we'll be back again with more episodes in the future.
Yes, I've watched a thing where I think it is the birth of a specific genre of porn. Well, I'll tell you about it in the next one.
Whoa. Okay,
Yes.
all right. I shall promise not to ask and look it up later.
Okay.
Ciao, guys.
Bye-bye.